Hello, everyone. In today's session, I'll be talking about Tennyson's Ulysses. I'll begin with introducing the poem, and then I'll be delving deeper into a detailed analysis of each stanza, and then I'll be commenting on the main themes, the figures of speech, and so on. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, Alfred Lord Tennyson's poem Ulysses was inspired definitely by the profound grief, as we have talked about in class, following the death of his close friend Arthur Hallam. And, like Hallam's death has actually, changed the whole structure and the themes depicted in, Tennyson's work. And I don't know if it's totally visible to you. I mean, the screen. I hope so. So, in his work, like I'm talking about, of course, Ulysses, Tennyson reimagines and recalls the, legendary figure, the most well-known Ulysses or Odysseus from Homer's epics, the Iliad and the Odyssey, to explore themes of adventure, mortality, sorry, and the human spirit. Let's discuss its summary. Let's summarize the poem. So, to begin with, in Ulysses, Tennyson captures the relentless spirit and adventure, the adventurous nature of the aging hero, Ulysses or Odysseus, like his second name or his main name. After a decade of adventures, Ulysses contemplates embarking on one final journey, and like we're gonna see, now he's old with an aged woman, grappling with the monotony of domestic life and questioning whether he has changed since his youthful actually disappeared. So the poem reflects Ulysses' struggle against the constraints of, aging, and how, of course, when we're aged, we cannot do anything. We're very restricted. So ultimately, he resolves to embrace life's challenges, concluding with a powerful line: to strive, to seek, and not to yield. Let's discuss before delving deeper into the poem's analysis. Let's discuss the very important part, which is the mythological context here in this poem. So Ulysses, as we all know, is the best known figure, and he is known for his role in the events surrounding the Trojan War, as like we have seen with Dr. Lama's classes the previous semester, particularly the abduction. I believe Helen wasn't abducted anyway, of Helen of Troy and the subsequent quest to retrieve her, to take her back. His adventures include encounters with the, Cyclops, which are, the giants and like horrible faced, um, antagonists, and the clever use of the Trojan horse, as we all know, the very well-known one, all while striving to return to his wife Penelope and son Telemachus, and we're gonna see how he depicted his son in the poem. So let's discuss the main themes. So the title, Ulysses, refers to the Latin name for Odysseus, the epic hero of the Odyssey and king of Ithaca. Tennyson presents an older Ulysses who, despite his age, yearns for adventure and knowledge. Is, he has this relentless pursuit for knowledge and adventure. So the poem conveys the message that one should never cease to pursue their passions, regardless of their, the physical limitations that, age actually causes. Ulysses embodies the idea that the mind should remain vibrant and adventurous until death. No matter how old we are, we have to, stay vibrant and adventurous and like be open to, to life's, you know, indefinite, adventures and possibilities and opportunities. Let's discuss before moving on to the analysis. Let's discuss the form and structure before so that we are familiar with them while reading and discussing the poem. So Tennyson employs a dramatic monologue format addressing a broad audience rather than like a specific theatrical one. And when we have discussed the Victorian poets, the most well-known ones, we actually have said that Tennyson is known for his dramatic monologue format. That what actually distinguished him from other, Victorian poets. So the poem is written in iambic pentameter, a traditional meter in English poetry which creates a rhythmic flow that mirrors Ulysses' passionate resolve. Actually, he was, as I said, relentless. He wanted actually to pursue, his dreams, even if he's, aged. Variations in meter, such as the spontees and crookies, add depth and emphasis to his emotional state, and how bored and unengaged he is with his, domestic duties. Let's discuss the literary devices. Of course, we're gonna find them, and I have highlighted them in the, lines. We have metaphor, phrases like still heart and barren cracks, or the view of the fireplace symbolize stagnation and idleness, laziness, and like he's a do nothing king, and like he's really bored and unengaged. We have the anticlimax, the line that hoard and sleep and feed and no, not me. I wasn't like that, and I like this person who suddenly out of nowhere becomes me is no longer me. Like it's like I know not this person. It's not me because now like I'm older and like like I can't actually go and like seek adventures because as I said, he's old and he has of course duties. We have the antithesis, contrasting phrases like enjoyed greatly, as we have seen with and suffered greatly. It does like it's called antithesis, highlight the duality of Ulysses' experiences, both enjoyed and suffered greatly. We have the onomatopoeia, the phrase ringing plains of windy trail. It's like it evokes auditory imagery. We can imagine how, the plains are just, ringing. We have epigram, lines such as to rust unburnished, not to shine in use, encapsulate Ulysses' philosophy on life. Like, what are we doing? We have to shine. We have to do something that helps us shine. Let's now discuss the poem and, delve deeper into its analysis. It starts with, it little profits me that an ideal king, by this still heart, as I mentioned, a metaphor, among these bearing cracks, another metaphor, matched with an aged woman, I mate and all unequal laws onto a savage race. Like I'm just, I have duties for a savage race. That hoard, sleep, and feed. No, not me, another figure of speech, as I mentioned. So in the opening lines, Ulysses expresses dissatisfaction with his current life as an ideal king, preferring the excitement of adventure over the mundane, normal, boring responsibilities of ruling. Mind you, he's actually monarch. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the least, to the maximum. All times I've enjoyed greatly, I've suffered greatly. Uh, this is another figure of speech. Both with those that loved me, and alone on shore, and when through scudding drifts, the rainy Hyades, Vesto, the Dempsey, I am become a name. And we see here actually here there is an important theme, both with those that loved me. Here he's talking about his, fellowship, friendship. And of course, we're referring to Halam here. For always roaming with a hungry heart, he was really desperate to, and like he was open to all, the possibilities that life offer and the adventures. Much have I seen and unknown cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments, myself not least. but honored of them all. He accepted all of them and was really happy to actually embark on all of these, journeys. And drunk delight of battle with my peers. He actually really enjoyed, being with his peers in battles, and here actually we're referring to friendship in general and like, the company of Halam. Far on the ringing plains of windy Troy, we're creating like an auditory imagery here. I'm a part of all that I have met here. This is a great philosophy that we still actually talk about. Like it says, we ourselves are not us. We are parts of everything we have met and we are meeting. Yet, all I experience is an arc we're through, gleams that untraveled world whose margin fades. Like I'm just seeing something. I'm seeing like a world that is disappearing forever and forever when I move. How dull it is to pause, to make an end, to rust unburnished, not to shine in use. How dull it is to, be idle and do nothing. It's really silly. It's really boring. It's dull. As though to breathe were life, like as if like if we're just breathing, as if like we're living, we're just existing, we're not living. Life piled on life, we're all too little, and of one to me little remains, but every hour is saved from that eternal silence, something more, a bringer of new things, and vile it were, for some 3 suns to store and hoard myself, and this gray spirit yearning and desire to follow knowledge, like we can see here a simile, to follow knowledge like a sinking star. Like he is desperate. He wants to, discover the unknown and go for new adventures, even if he is old, beyond the utmost bound of human thoughts. He reflects on his past experiences with his company, emphasizing that his thirst for knowledge and exploration remains, unchanged. This is my son, mine own Telemachus, to whom I leave the scepter and the eisel. Like when I die, he's gonna take the throne and he's gonna take everything after me. Well loved of me, discerning to fulfill his very wise. This labor by slow prudence to make mild, a rugged people, and through soft degrees subdue them to the useful and the good. He's really very sane. He's not as adventurous. He's not at all adventurous. He's not as adventurous as his father. He's just very sane and wise, and he actually takes care of his people. Most blameless is he, centered in the sphere of common duties, decent not to fail in offices of tenderness and pay meet adoration to my household gods. Like I can't blame him. Like he actually is doing something good for his people, and he doesn't have time for adventure. When I'm gone, he works his work, I mine. When I die, he's gonna work. He's gonna take his work, and I mine. Ulysses here acknowledges his son Telemachus as a capable successor. He's like actually gonna take good care of the people. Yet he feels a deep yearning for the adventure that lied ahead. There lies the part, the vessel puffs her sail. There gloom the dark, broad seas, my mariners here, like he's embarking on a new journey. My mariners, my friends, here, the main theme, fellowship. Souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me, my friends, the ones that were with me in my ups and downs, so that ever with a frolic will come. Took the thunder and the sunshine and opposed free hearts, free foreheads. You and I are old now. Old age hath yet his honor and his toil. Like we still have a lot of things to do. It's not the end. Death closes all, but something ere the end. Some work of noble notes may yet be done. There is still hope. We can do a lot of things. To make a long story short, it's like age is just a number for Odysseus. not on becoming men that strove with gods. The light began to twinkle from the rocks, the long day wanes, the slow moon climbs, the deep moans round with many voices. Come, my friends. Just a second. Come, my friends, it is not too late to seek a newer world. Just motivating his friends and telling them that, it's we still have time. Push off and sitting well in order to smart. The sounding furrows, my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset and the baths. It's like I'm really desperate to go for adventures. Of all the Western stars, until I die, I'm gonna be relentless to pursue knowledge and adventures until I die. It may be that the gods will wash us down. We're gonna, encounter a lot of difficulties. It may be we shall touch the happy isles and see the great Achilles whom we knew. Though much is taken, much abides, and though we're not now that strength which in old days, which not we're not as strong as we used to be, moved earth and heaven, in which we are one equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong and well. Of course, we have physical limitations now because we're old, but like we're still strong and well to strive, to seek, and not to yield, even if we're old. This is the best line ever. So here, as Ulysses addresses his old companions, Ulysses encourages them to embrace the journey despite their age, asserting that life is about movement and exploration. He believes that it is never too late to seek new horizons, symbolizing the pursuit of knowledge and experience, even though we're like he and actually his friends are old now and are limited. In the concluding lines, Ulysses tells his friends, urging them to push off into the unknown, to discover a lot of things, to embark on new journeys, even as they face the inevitability of death. We're all gonna die at the end. He emphasizes that while they may not actually possess the strength of their youth, their will like strive and seek remains undiminished. They will strive forever. As we were discussing the themes, let's delve deeper into them. So the poem explores themes of optimism and brotherhood. Optimism, of course, we even if we're aged now, we can do a lot of things. It's not the end. And of course, we have brotherhood. My mariners, my friends. It's not the end. Let's go and let's discover the unknown. Ulysses embodies hope, demonstrating that age should not prevent one from pursuing their dreams. His bond with his companions highlights the importance of fellowship and facing life's challenges. Or no, if the screen is visible to you. Tennyson employs symbols such as the sea, representing the adventure and the unknown, in contrast to the land, which signifies stagnation and domesticity. It's very dull, it's very boring. This duality reflects Ulysses' internal conflict between the comforts of home and the call for the adventurous spirit that he himself possesses. We have the character of Ulysses. Ulysses, of course, is depicted as a heroic figure, a king and soldier who has experienced the world's trials. As he reflects on his life and, recalling events from the past, he becomes increasingly passionate about the need for adventure. He's very desperate to go for adventures, rejecting the notion of becoming an ideal king, as he begins with. His character embodies the relentless pursuit of knowledge and the refusal to succumb to the limitations of age, no matter how aged he is. And last but not least, let's briefly talk about the historical context of Ulysses. Tennyson draws on classical literature, particularly Homer and Dante, to enrich his depiction of Ulysses. In Dante's Inferno, Ulysses is depicted as a tragic hero driven by an insatiable desire for exploration. Tennyson, grappling with the loss of his friend Halam, as I've been talking earlier, resonates with Ulysses' longing for life and adventure. ultimately conveying a message about the importance of living fully in the face of mortality. We're all, mortals. We're not immortals. We're not vampires, right? So that's it for today, and thank you so much for listening. I hope you actually have enjoyed my, presentation. Thank you so much. Didn't I stop? Yeah.